Hey, good morning, everyone. Welcome to this day. I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving and had a good weekend, despite all the rain that we had. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. On our show today, we have Dr. Rowe from Envision, and she's going to talk about, well, a certain type of eye condition. I'm not going to try and pronounce it because it's pretty hard to pronounce, but it's something that is not uncommon, and she'll tell us all about that and the treatments for it. Also, we have the Daughters of the British Empire. I think it's been about a year since they have been on. They got a couple events going up, and we have a couple gentlemen from the American Legion, Post 257, of course, and we're going to bring you a segment from RadNet as well. So those are our guests today. Now, as far as meetings today, there's only one. It's not really a meeting. It's more of a task force, and it's the Resident Policy and Compliance Task Force with Third, and it'll be in the boardroom at 1:30. Now, let's get to the weather, and we had quite a lot of rain. I can tell you that at our house, between the few days of rain that we had a total of almost 4 inches. So it was a decent amount of rain, of course, a cold rain. Snow level got down really low. In fact, on top of Saddleback Mountain, they had a dusting of snow. It was really kind of neat to look at that. As far as what's coming up for us, well, more rain. Today, not really. It's kind of nice. Temperatures are all rising this week, and that's because the system that's coming in, even though it's coming down from the north, it's going to pick up moisture from what's called subtropical. So you can see the temperatures right away are up by probably 15 degrees over last week. In fact, I think Wednesday and Thursday, at least where I live, we never got out of the upper 40s. That is very unusual to have a high of only about 48 for a couple days. Very unusual. So this is what's going to be happening here. This is going to be a very heavy rain system. More than likely, it will come in. When I say late rain on Tuesday, I'm talking about it may not even get here till after 10 o'clock. Maybe not even, sometime around then. Might get a few little sprinkles, 8, 9 o'clock or so. It's really overnight. Wednesday morning, let's say from about 3 in the morning to about 10 or 11, we are looking at very heavy rain. They're expecting maybe a couple inches on Wednesday alone, where as you get to later on Wednesday, it will continue. It'll be a little bit less heavy as we get to the afternoon and evening. Could spill over to Thursday morning, early morning. Then we start to clear up. But another round of rain, unfortunately, coming back in over the weekend, late Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday. That shouldn't be as heavy as a Wednesday. Wednesday, because it's bringing up the subtropical moisture, this could be really a lot of rain in a short amount of time. So, be wary of that. All right, as far as the county goes today and beyond, temperatures, again, compared to last week, are all up. I mean, these are more normal temperatures that we see here. What we had last week, just remaining in the upper 40s to low 50s, is pretty unusual for a several day stretch. But here we are, all in the 60s, mid to upper 60s. Big Bear only about 48 today, but overall kind of nice. Few scattered clouds today, then increasing clouds as we get into tomorrow and bring us into that rain coming in late Tuesday into Wednesday. All right, we'll be back.
Now at LA Carpet & More, you can transform your kitchen and bath and get 50% off. Plus, get 5 years 0% financing. Call 800-684-4100 for an appointment or visit one of our closest showrooms.
LA Carpet, #1 for you.
Now at LA Carpet & More, you can transform your kitchen and bath and get 50% off. Plus, get 5 years 0% financing. Call 800-684-4100 for an appointment or visit one of our closest showrooms.
LA Carpet, #1 for you.
Living and learning in Laguna Woods Village is a unique experience. For over 40 years, the Emeritus Institute has provided tuition-free college classes within your community. Join us to experience expert faculty, quality academics, and to make new friends through the Emeritus Institute. New classes start every semester, and you can join nearly any time. Visit our office at Clubhouse 4 or anytime at saddleback.edu/emeritus. Learn, live, and thrive with the Emeritus Institute.
may know AgeWell for delivering life-saving Meals on Wheels to homebound seniors. But did you know they keep seniors active and engaged at 10 modern centers? Serve nutritious congregate meals amid friendly surroundings, transport seniors safely to and from appointments, and provide much-needed equipment and other essential services. Now, this vital nonprofit organization needs your support to sustain its mission. This is AgeWell Senior Services. Won't you make it yours?
Anyone who calls it a hobby doesn't understand. We know that a person's passion is what drives them. And that's why every memorial we create is a true reflection of the individual. Only a Dignity Memorial professional can celebrate a life like no other. Find out how at dignityorangecounty.com.
Envision, the eye doctor's #1 choice.
I have worked with the doctors at Envision for over 20 years. Their experience, state-of-the-art technology, and positive outcomes have earned them my trust in taking care of our mutual patients.
With clear vision, all things are possible. To schedule your appointment today, contact us at 866-599-2740.
And with me today from Envision is Dr. Duna Roof, and welcome back. Good to see you here.
Thanks for having me. It's always great to be here.
Yeah, and today I'm going to let you pronounce this because we're talking about something that's also referred to surfer's eye, but the actual name is?
Pterygium.
Pterygium.
So many people get stumped by that word because it starts with a P, but it's pronounced with a T.
Okay.
It's a really common occurrence, and commonly we just call it surfer's eye.
Okay.
So a pterygium, as you can see on the picture there,
okay, we'll
is
look
a
at the
growth that happens on the white part of the eye. Typically it grows on the side near the nose.
Yeah.
And a collection of vascular tissue, we call it fibrovascular tissue, that grows from the white part of the eye towards the colored part of the eye.
Okay.
And in really advanced cases, it can continue to grow until it hits the pupil, the center of the vision that we see through. And I've even seen some that are so advanced that the pterygium continues to grow all the way to the other side of the white part of the eye. In some instances, some patients just kind of let them go and they continue to grow. So these are really common in folks who spend a lot of time outdoors. So they are very common in Southern California, and we see these all the time. Most commonly, they happen in surfers because of chronic sun and wind exposure, and it's really difficult to wear sunglasses or eye protection while you're surfing. So over time, or just chronic UV light exposure, this pterygium develops. So it's benign, it's a benign growth, it's not cancerous, but it can cause a few issues.
Okay, now in the next photo we're going to see, like you said, it starts to grow. Now, is this something that basically your eye, you get this irritation, it's protecting itself? In a sense?
Sort of,
okay.
Yeah. So because of the chronic sun and wind exposure, there is chronic irritation to the white part of the eye, so it reacts by growing this tissue. And the name pterygium comes from the Greek word pterygios, which means wing, because you can see it's almost shaped like a wing, and it just continues to grow towards the visual axis. Most of the time it grows towards the side near the nose, but sometimes it can also grow from the side near the temple. And some folks even have them from both sides. And they continue to grow until they meet in the center of the pupil.
Okay, and the name makes sense because pterodactyl, the first few letters of that means a winged.
Exactly.
Which also starts with a P. But when this starts to happen, at what point can it just go away if somebody sees it a little bit? Or should you always go see your eye care
It's uncommon for it to go away on its own. So the natural progression of a pterygium is that it first develops just on the white part of the eye, and then once it starts developing towards the colored or the clear part of the eye, towards the cornea, that's when it becomes a pterygium. And naturally, it either stays where it is or it continues to get worse. It's very uncommon for it to regress on its own.
Okay.
So when it's inflamed, it can become really red and cause irritation or burning to the person's eye.
Okay.
So if that happens, definitely go see your eye doctor because it can be treated with eye drops that can reduce the inflammation. The eye drops won't get rid of it, but they will treat the redness and the irritation. And those are typically steroid eye drops.
Okay.
A steroid eye drop is a really good solution to reduce the redness and the irritation, but it will not eliminate it. And steroid eye drops cannot be used long term because they have side effects.
Okay.
They can increase eye pressure or they can cause cataracts. So they're a good temporary fix just to alleviate some redness and irritation, but really the only way to completely get rid of this is with surgery.
Okay, and what is the surgery where it's done? Now here's the pathology, so you're showing a kind of a cross section.
Exactly. So whenever this is removed surgically, you can look at it under the microscope. And what I wanted to show by the slide is highlighting that this is a benign growth. The type of degeneration that's noted under the microscope is called elastotic degeneration.
Okay.
And basically there is a breakdown or destruction of one of the layers of the cornea because of this tissue growing over it and into it as well. However, once this is removed and the surface of the cornea is polished and allowed some time to heal, then it can return to its normal anatomy.
Okay, as far as the surgery goes, what does that entail? Because whenever somebody hears surgery on the eye, it doesn't matter what it is, it's a scary thought when you think about it.
So the surgery is really straightforward.
Okay.
It takes approximately 10 to 15 minutes, and typically it is done under some mild sedating anesthesia, so the patient is awake. We don't completely put them to sleep. The surgery is done on an outpatient basis. Sometimes it can be done in an outpatient surgery center, or it can even be done in a surgical suite in the office.
Okay.
During those 10 to 15 minutes, what I exactly do is I numb up the eye first so that the patient doesn't have any pain during the surgery. I go ahead and I excise or cut out that pterygium. I clean up the area underneath it to remove of any residual tissue or any cells that may cause recurrence of the pterygium. After cleaning up that area, we just stop some of the blood vessels that may be bleeding a little bit because that part of the eye does have blood vessels. And then I reconstruct that area with tissue. So there are a couple of different options of how to do it. The most common way that is done, which is my preferred method, is that I actually take a graft from the person's own eye from underneath their upper eyelid. So it's from the white part of the eye from underneath the upper eyelid.
And this is all done in 10 to 15 minutes?
Exactly, yeah, it's really quick. So the graft that I take out is the same size and shape as the pterygium that I just removed, the area, the defect that it left on the white part of the eye. And I use a surgical adhesive, like a glue, in order to graft that graft onto the area where the pterygium was removed. And that's pretty much it. So I rarely use any stitches. It's all done with glue. Takes 10-15 minutes, no pain to the person who's having the surgery. And then I put a patch over the eye and a plastic shield to protect it that just stay on for the first day. During the first week, the person may have some irritation, itchiness, feeling like there's some sand in their eye. That's all completely normal. And typically day by day over the course of the first week, it continues to feel better and better. Usually by about 1 month, the eye is looking pretty good. There may still be some little spots of redness. By 3 months, typically the eye looks nice and clear and white, like nothing happened there.
Okay, you talked about how this can come about. Is there anything that people can do to prevent it? Now, a person that maybe is not out surfing and all and wear sunglasses and those kinds of things, but in general, is there something like people who are very active out surfing or go to the beach a lot or whatever it might be, is there preventative measures?
There is. So wearing sunglasses with UV protection is very important. So whenever you buy sunglasses, make sure that they have UV protection because that will reduce those harmful UV rays that are getting to the surface of the eye and causing this pterygium to occur. If somebody has some dry eye, it's also important to get that treated with lubricating eye drops or other more advanced ways of treating dry eye, because the combination of the UV light and the dry eye can also elicit this pterygium to occur.
Okay, what about in kids? Is that common? Because a lot of kids, like my daughter, they don't wear sunglasses for some reason. You know?
So it does happen in kids. I've seen it in teenagers. I just had a patient recently who's a 17-year-old who's on the rowing team in his school. And he's out in the sun all the time, and he's developing pterygiums in both eyes. So again, wearing sunglasses with UV protection is strongly encouraged. And then once the pterygium stabilizes, then I would recommend surgery, usually a little bit later, to get rid of it completely.
All right, and as you said, with surfers, it's a little hard.
It is.
They don't want to wear sunglasses.
Yeah, it's really tough. So
see that? You can invent surfer sunglasses.
There we go. Yeah.
You know, that just don't fog up and the water just goes away.
Exactly. That would be really helpful. We would fix pterygiums.
Yes, you would. But again, just I would think, like for surfers, you just keep track of it. Maybe put drops in as needed.
Exactly.
And those kinds of things. Just over the counter.
Over-the-counter artificial tears.
Artificial tears,
Yeah, so make sure that you're getting artificial tears or lubricating eye drops. I don't recommend the eye drops that are over-the-counter that are to eliminate eye redness.
Right, because that's all they're just masking your problem.
Exactly.
Right?
So what these eye drops do is that they vasoconstrict the blood vessels. They narrow them so that immediately, within seconds of putting them in, the eye looks nice and white. But over the long term, they can cause some vasodilation of these blood vessels that continues to substantiate the problem, and it will also can cause some dry eye as well.
Yeah.
Because they all have some preservatives in them that can be irritating to the surface of the eye. So just get lubricating eye drops, artificial tears.
Okay. All right. Very good. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you.
Good to see you again.
Good to see you as well.
You take care.
My pleasure. Thank
and
you.
We'll be right back.
Vision, the eye doctor's #1 choice.
We are a community of surgeons and optometrists dedicated to helping you live better by seeing better.
We offer advanced lens options to fit your lifestyle. We also offer the latest in laser technology for cataract surgery. We are Envision, the eye doctor's #1 choice.
With clear vision, all things are possible. To schedule your appointment, contact us at 866-599-2740.
My name is Francisco Perez. I work for the Department of Transportation, and we're here to present or show the Planarize system, which is one of the systems coming on and servicing Saturdays and Sundays all day, and Monday to Friday from 8 o'clock to 10:30 at night. If you want to use the service of Planarize, you please call 597-4659 to make a reservation to the 2 days before or the day of by noon time. That will be the latest time that you can request your pickup for the following day. One of the topics that we like to discuss about is safety. So mainly we like to make sure for the safety of the residents to be seated until the bus stops from moving, and do not get off your seat until the driver tells you so, for your own personal safety and to avoid any accidents or falls on the bus or outside the bus. So one of the key points is the ramp. The main thing here is this ledge. People like to get off the bus and cut corners, and they can trip and fall. For their own safety, please, when you walk out of the bus, straight out and then go to your right or your left, whichever works, okay? That's one of the key points. The other key point is do not stand when the bus is in motion. Any pertinent request that you might have throughout the day, you want to get off the bus or you want to acknowledge the driver, please make sure you tell the driver when you go into the bus. before he starts moving the vehicle. So that way he knows in advance where you need to get off or where would you like to be dropped off in whatever cul-de-sac request that you might have. The other topic is use the handrails. Assist yourself using the handrails of the bus to help you out in and out of the bus for your own personal safety. The other part of the system is if you have a medical aid, wheelchair, walker, when you call in to make a reservation in the main line, 597-4659, make sure you tell the dispatch person taking the reservation that you are on a wheelchair or you use a medical device, a walker, so they know in advance what to look for and be prepared when they're getting on you onto the bus. The driver is already trained to perform the safe load and unload the wheelchair on the bus. So he will secure the wheelchair onto the bus and he will make sure that you'll be riding safe on the bus. So that's one of the #1 things that we train our drivers, so the passenger is secure and safe while on the bus. I'm Francisco Perez. I'm here to assist you in anything you might need. Please call us at 597-4659 and I will be happy to assist you.
And welcome back, where I'd like to welcome today a couple ladies from the Daughters of the British Empire. We have Phyllis Joan and Sheila Colonel here today. Welcome. Great to have you here.
Good morning, Ken.
Yeah, we are going to talk about an event that is coming up just a little over a week away. But first, I wanted to find out about the history of both this club and the Daughters of the British Empire. So who would like to tell me about that first? Do you want to get Phyllis? Okay.
I'll start.
All right.
It started in the United States in 1910 in New York and Brooklyn. And then it expanded to the other states. And in California, our British home started in 1930.
Okay.
And it consists of 6 cottages and 1 that is for the nursing care. And it facilitates any nationality, race, if you're elderly. And our motto is, it's not ourselves, but our cause. And our cause is supporting this home, and that's why our event is coming up.
Okay, so it's more of a philanthropic community where you raise funds for this organization and all.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yes.
And do you have to?
Well, it's very social too.
Okay.
Very social.
Do you have to have
tea.
Connections to the British Empire in some way, or anybody can join?
Yes, to join. How far back? Married to, being from the British Empire.
Okay.
Married to, and then how far back do we go?
We go back as far as you can.
Grandparents.
Yeah, I mean,
okay.
As long as
you
you're
can trace.
Yeah, as long as you're from a Commonwealth as well, Canada, Australia,
okay.
India. So we're really global.
So it's a global organization then?
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, there's DBE is in almost.
Yes, but in America.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
It's established in America.
Oh, it was?
Only.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
So coming up, this is next week, Wednesday, December 11th. You are doing a presentation, and it looks like a lot of fun. It's going to be a dinner show. It's going to be a tribute to Liza Minnelli. And you're having this woman on, Suzanne Klassen, who impersonates her, right?
She is her.
Yeah.
I saw her, the first time I saw her, on the ship when we were going on an Alaskan cruise.
Okay.
And for 3 days later, I still thought it was Liza Minnelli.
Oh, wow.
She's just marvelous.
Pretty fantastic.
I mean, she started for 2 decades doing her Liza Minnelli songs, and so she'll be singing New York, New York, Cabaret, you know, all of them, and she just, you'll be just swept away because her talent is just magnificent to be Liza Minnelli.
How did you find her? I know you saw her on the ship, but does she live in this area?
in Simi Valley, so
Oh,
she's coming
okay.
over that, but she's a daughter of the British Empire.
Oh, she is?
We found that out later, but yes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, that works out great.
Right.
Yes.
So this is going to be a dinner and a show.
Correct.
And you have catering by Yolanda.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. She's done stuff for years and years, so she's really does well. Very
Wine
liked
on
in
the
this area.
table.
Okay.
Glass of wine.
And it's going to be $30 a person. So the doors open at 5:30 and then dinner at 6 and the show is 7. So you got plenty of time to relax and have some wine, have your dinner. And this is next week, Wednesday, December 11th at Clubhouse 5. So if somebody would like to go to this, I know you have flyers up, but we have a couple numbers here that people can contact as well.
They can call Cynthia at 949-951-3375.
Okay.
And that would get you, the information of where to send your check.
What about the club in general? If people want to join the club, do you have activities you get together every month?
Once a month.
Okay.
Third
Tuesday
in
at
month.
1:30.
Okay.
We have meetings, go through all the information on the meetings, and then there's very often maybe a little lecture or someone comes in extra. And then, of course, we have tea.
Yes, of course.
And then we have, the high tea. So you have your little
with it, yes.
British sandwiches.
Yeah.
So they're very tasty and good socializing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. In fact, I belonged to another group before I came here, before I lived in this area. I belonged to another group. They're all over the United States.
Yeah.
And I absolutely have lifelong friends established from that time. That is the way, because I've been in over 30 years.
Yeah.
And there's still, it becomes, yes, very much so, because you start out with something in common right to begin with.
And that's the main thing.
Then it goes on from there.
Now, as I asked, you have to be part of the club, it can be for anybody, or do you need to have some connection to join?
You need to have, like my husband was British, so I'm qualified. So, but I'm American. But anyway, but you can be from the Commonwealth, any little area of a relative connected to the British Empire, you're in.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes back in your ancestry
quite
a good way back.
I've got a little bit when I got 23andMe, and so I've got a little bit of Scottish and Irish.
I think that would be, you would be accepted.
Okay,
yes.
All right, thank you. And again, if you'd like to, this is going to be a fun event, and this is a special event you're doing.
This is for a fundraiser.
Yeah, you don't do this every
This is Christmas.
Yeah.
This is our fundraiser.
If you think we wear these all the time,
I don't know, maybe you do.
But one thing too, after, when you said the program, and then we have the entertainment with the fantastic Liza.
Yeah.
And then there's music. And then we go really crazy. Then we're fun. Then we just you're just dancing.
Yeah,
and
so it's a
music.
full evening.
Oh,
absolutely.
Really nice.
It's what you want to make of it.
Yeah.
I don't know whether there's any cutoff time. Is there?
No.
I've forgotten about that.
I think that's really nice that you're doing this, and it's going to be a lot of fun, and it's a fundraiser.
Absolutely.
So anybody can come to this, even if they're not part of the club.
They don't even have to be in the. If your friends are out of the Laguna Woods residency, we'll put them name at the gate, and so it's open for your relatives, your friends, anyone.
A lot of people do that. Bring a party.
Yeah, they bring 10 people.
Have their own table.
So we've got room for more.
Okay.
And,
not much though, so hurry up.
All right. So again, it's next Wednesday at Clubhouse 5. It's $30 a person. Doors open at 5:30. Dinner is at 6. And then Liza Minnelli at 7. For reservations, you can give them a call. I'll give one of the numbers, 949-951-3375. And I guess you pick the dinner you want. There's different options. And, of course, English trifle is served on each table.
Yes.
Right.
That'll be real nice.
Yes.
Are you making those? No.
I might serve it, though.
Okay, you might
because
serve it.
Americans don't know how to serve it. You've got to go down to the bottom because all the goods.
That's true. It's like having a hot fudge sundae that's in a large glass. You got to put that spoon all the way.
Exactly.
All the way down.
Exactly.
Do you want to come? Are you coming?
I don't know.
He
Maybe.
knows how to eat trifle. The only requirement to come is to be able to eat trifle.
Okay. All right. Ladies, thank you. It's been a pleasure meeting you. Hope to see you back here again.
Right, and I just want to thank
very
everyone
much.
at Channel 6 for giving us the opportunity.
Oh, wonderful. We love to hear about different clubs and things like that.
give this opportunity to have everybody run out and get their tickets and
Yes.
books.
All right, we'll be right back. Yeah, anytime.
Over 25 years, we have worked hard to make Brilliant Smile the premier dental office in Laguna Woods. We take the extra time to understand our patients' special needs and always perform the highest quality dental work at affordable prices in a relaxing and friendly environment. There is no need to refer our patients to anybody else. We perform everything from cleaning all the way to the implant and sinus surgeries all under one roof. Stop in or call and experience the Brilliant Smile difference.
Ray and I are standing in front of a digital sign that we hope serves as a deterrent against speeding vehicles and also just to make our residents aware of their speed wherever they may be. We try to position these throughout our community, around curves, in downhill sections, and again, it's just to remind our folks to take it easy, to watch the posted speed limit, and as you can see here on this one, the posted speed limit is 25 miles an hour. And Ray, I'm sure that you see quite a few speeding violations in your traffic hearings.
Absolutely. We have an average of like 14 people in the morning that come in for traffic, and at least 3 of the 14 are there for speeding.
There was a speeding vehicle, I believe, driving 37 in a 25, which is excessive. Now, this was a straightaway, and that is unsafe. Just add the additional conditions of maybe it's dark out, poor lighting, the roadways are wet, you're on a curve, you're coming downhill, there's pedestrians out. There's a variety of issues that we need to take into consideration of. Bottom line is, let's take it nice and slow. Be aware of your surroundings. Again, know your limitations. When you're driving fast, you need to be recognize that your ability to brake is going to be severely impacted as well.
Dr. Yi-Wing Tong and Dr. Elaine Tong specialize in treating chronic pain and other disorders without drugs or surgery. Our therapy uses anesthetic injections to enhance acupuncture, curing disorders by restoring circulation and health. Most of our patients have tried all kinds of therapies without benefit, but obtained relief with their first treatment. Whether you are suffering from chronic pain, mental disorders, or simply wanting to maintain optimal health, we are here to help. Call today for your free phone consultation.
Well, I'd like to welcome a couple gentlemen from our own American Legion, Post 257. I'd like to welcome back Dennis Powell and also Alan Clark. Great to have you gentlemen here today. Thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome. It's always great to be here. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah. So the American Legion, I know in the past couple times you've been on, is celebrating its 100th anniversary. Am I right? Is that this year,
Yes,
2019?
Yes. It's one of our current themes.
Yeah.
And most of what I'm going to talk about are about our current themes that I've mentioned in a few of the past sessions that we've had. This being the holiday season, specifically Thanksgiving, we feel it's a great time to express our thanks for all of our what we have to be thankful for: family, God, country, personal freedoms. And so we certainly hope that your Thanksgivings were the best of ever, the best ever. We have a lot of reasons to be thankful. After all, we do live in the land of the free and the home of the brave, and freedom is not free. I'd like to remind everyone that not only thousands, but millions of people have died for their personal freedoms. Over 50 million people died in World War II on both sides.
Wow.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
And we have to be ever vigilant to protect our values because there are many people who would like to deprive us of them and take them away from us. And you know, we have our Bill of Rights and our Constitution and the laws that we've established over 250 years ago that have all really worked very well when they were executed properly. I think some people today seem to think that they can decide what laws to follow and what laws they don't believe in.
Right.
You know, we are a country of law and order, and you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion. And one of the reasons we have freedom of speech is so you can express that opinion.
Right.
And nowadays we have people attacking freedom of speech. I can't understand how anyone would not want to be able to speak up and defend their own values. You know, our Constitution is what every military veteran takes an oath to support and defend.
Right. So, Alan, again, 100th anniversary.
Yes,
And
100th anniversary.
give us a little history. How did the American Legion begin?
Well, it basically started in Clubhouse, if you will. Clubhouse 1 is in Paris, France.
Ah!
Basically, that's
okay.
where it started, because after the conflict ended, we had
Yeah.
like 1 million troops over
That's
there.
right.
Okay, so some officers got together and say, okay, we've got to get things organized. Sometimes militaries
Interesting.
are renowned for not having things quite right, but so these gentlemen got together, started this, eventually bringing in unenlisted personnel. And so they started that, and they started in Indianapolis, Indiana, I think mainly. So you have the different posts, like ours, 257 here, kind of in sequence of areas as it expanded.
Well, they were numbered
So,
as the organization.
So basically it started in France after World War II, and that's why it was 1919, and now it's 2019, 100th anniversary of that.
Wow.
So that's kind of how that all started.
How many posts are there? I mean, you're 257, but do you know how many there are in this country? And this post started years and years ago.
Something like
wow.
that. Probably, yeah, all over. Yeah, we have quite a few. I think there's, golly, at least 10 right here in Orange County and that. So
very interesting.
Yeah.
So I know that the requirements slightly enlarged, right, this year, as far as all honorably discharged veterans who served. Now, maybe I'm wrong here, but at one time they had to be in active during conflict. That's
war.
the part that changed. Am I right?
As
long as you served.
Correct. It is now September 7th, December 7th, 1941, attack on Pearl Harbor. Anyone who has served in the U.S. military from that time to now is eligible to join.
And honorably discharged, of course.
Right.
And you have to understand that the American Legion was actually set up by an act of Congress.
Yeah.
And that. So we have to, go along with the federal mandate.
And of course, I really doubt it, but I guess if somebody was still around from World War I, they could be part of it too. But there may be. There could be.
Might be.
There might be,
Yeah.
you know.
It's getting up there.
Might be pretty hard if they served, right?
Well, we have some that, we have one gentleman who's 99 that's in our unit.
So pretty close.
Yeah.
You know how you told us, Dennis, the American Legion, it serves God and country and defend the Constitution and all. And is this organization, as far as helping veterans, is this a place that a veteran can go to, and if they ever need some help or advice, or are we all kind of like a brother and sisterhood of this?
Absolutely. We are a service organization first. We're really organized to help veterans. And we have a very good website, which is al257.org. There's a wealth of information on there. And we are going to attempt to compile a list of all veterans to get a head count in Laguna Woods, because there isn't one now. So I'm asking...
Oh, yeah, that would be good, yeah.
I'm asking all veterans that live in Laguna Woods, if you're not a member of our post or registered with a military organization, to please call our secretary, Jackie Yenser, I better tell her I'm going to have people call at 949-228-2744. That's 949-228-2744. She's also the lady to call to RSVP and confirm reservations for our monthly dinner meetings. Our December meeting we had to move up to this week. Usually it's the last fourth Thursday of the month, but there's always conflicts with the holidays.
Yeah.
So I guess in closing, I'd like to talk about what the Legion does. We serve God and country. What we stand for is Americanism. And what I mean by that is everything about it, all of our every reason to be patriotic, to uphold and defend our Constitution, which is primary, to maintain law and order, not decide what laws to ignore and what laws to enforce, to promote service to the community, state, and nation. I should also say, and definitely all veterans.
Right, certainly.
And to safeguard and defend the principles of justice, freedom, and democracy from all enemies, both external and internal. We have to defend our values. Our values are being attacked by people, and if you have strong feelings about your values, you need to defend them or you're going to lose them. And to foster and perpetuate 100% Americanism, which actually is just part of what I've just said. And of course, to promote peace and goodwill on earth. So we'd like to wish everybody happy holidays and a fabulous 2020. We are very interested in growing our membership, which is why we're stressing the fact that eligibility requirements have been opened up to all military veterans.
Okay.
Some veterans in the past have inquired about joining and were told they couldn't because they didn't serve during wartime.
Yeah.
So I think it's a better arrangement now because
I think so too.
If you've gone to the plate and taken your swing and stepped up, whether you're called or not. Yeah, everyone needs to be. I personally feel it was a mistake for the country to get rid of the draft because people think they don't have a stake in things now. When you're on a list for the draft, whether you're called or not, you know you're a part of the system and the organization, and you may be called on. I mean, they could, if there was a national crisis and martial law were declared, they could reinstitute a draft any time. The only reason they got rid of it was because they couldn't deal with the demonstrations during Vietnam.
Right.
But that time has passed. But all Americans of a good heart and that are patriotic. I don't mean nationalistic.
Right.
We're patriots. We're not nationalists. And every veteran who's ever served his country is just that. And we're glad that they're eligible to join us now. And please, once again, all of you vets in Laguna Woods, if you're not part of our organization or another veterans organization, call Jackie at the numbers I previously mentioned so we can compile a list of all of the veterans in Laguna Woods.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Always good to see you. Again, thank you for your service, and I'm sure we'll see you again. Happy holidays to you.
You too. Very good.
All right, you take care. We'll be back.
Holiday season is near, and Diane's Hallmark is your one-stop shop for the special people in your life. We have beautiful, unique gifts and decorations, women's clothing, religious items, cards, of course, and a wide selection of amazing, fun items you must see to believe. Come see why so many of your neighbors come to Diane's Hallmark for their holiday needs. Diane's Hallmark is close by in Laguna Niguel. Stop in to see our broad selection of year-round and seasonal gifts and cards.
Thank you for joining us. Today I have Dr. John Cruz, who's going to talk to me about artificial intelligence in RadNet. Well, it sounds like such a futuristic thing, but it's really happening.
Well, it's really not futuristic at all. Actually, artificial intelligence is basically using the computers to do functions that we've generally thought were things that the human mind would do. And it's been in radiology for many years. In fact, one of the first areas that AI was really used in radiology was the creation of the CT scanner. With a CT scanner, you basically put x-rays through the body, but you put them in different directions, and a human being cannot interpret that data. It has to go through a computer, which uses that data to create cross-sectional images in the body. And so that was really one of the first major breakthroughs of AI in radiology, but nobody called it AI at that time.
Right.
And right now, and the term AI really comes out of the computational world, where people have tried to replace a lot of human intelligence, basically using models in a computer that mimic the way we know nerves function in the human brain. And that's why people started using the term artificial intelligence, because there's a way to create a model of the human brain action, but in a computer.
Okay.
RadNet is using this in a number of different ways right now. The hottest topic most people are interested in is taking images that a human normally looks at and makes a diagnosis or interprets, and having a computer look at that image information and make a similar diagnosis.
Okay.
That may be a very important area of AI in the future, but it's actually only a small area where we're currently using AI right now.
Okay. All right.
Other areas where we're using AI right now is to help in patient billing, to make patient billing much more accurate. Right now, because of all the different insurance companies, all the different models out there, it's very hard for both RadNet and the patients to know what their actual costs are going to be at the time they come in for imaging. And that's uncomfortable for both the patient and for RadNet.
Right.
And so right now we're using AI algorithms to give the patient an accurate estimate of what their bill is going to be at the time that they present. And that's good for both sides.
That's
and then there are less surprises coming down the road.
Exactly.
And so we've currently worked with a group out of Massachusetts General Hospital, where we have a joint venture, and they've developed the algorithms to let us be more accurate in that area.
Okay.
Other areas where AI is being used right now are by the MRI companies, because there we have to take very complex data that has to do with magnetic interactions inside human cells and create an image out of those. And it looks like we can significantly shorten the amount of time a patient has to be in the MRI scanner by using artificial intelligence to let us reconstruct images inside the human body with a lot less data than we've needed in the past.
Oh, that's great.
And give us better images at a faster time period. So that's also, and all the manufacturers of MRI equipment are actively involved in researching those techniques.
And that's available today?
That is just becoming available today.
Okay, that's
right.
great. Does that change your costs as a company?
Where it may affect RadNet as a company is it may allow us to do more patients in less time on a given scanner, and therefore have the average cost to us of a scan be less.
Excellent. Excellent. And then how can a patient benefit from having these advances? Obviously, less time, maybe less fear.
There are a lot of different ways where patients will benefit from these, and it's only starting right now. One is it may substantially decrease the amount of time they have to lie in the scanner, which for a lot of people is very uncomfortable to be in that scanner. There's other artificial intelligence to make sure that when you're in the scanner, we get all the information we need. Occasionally now we don't get all the information. The patients have to come back and be rescanned, but artificial intelligence may monitor the data acquisition in real time so that patients don't have to come back.
That's great.
And then there are several ways where artificial intelligence almost certainly will allow us to get more information out of the images, which would benefit the patients and their physician. One is quantitative information, especially in musculoskeletal imaging, may be very important. If they partially remove one of your menisci in their knee, maybe we would really like to know how much of the meniscus is left in place, because that has to tell us a lot about the prognosis of how that joint is going to do in the future. And there are a lot of other areas where quantitative information will be very valuable. Right now, for humans, it's virtually impossible for us to do that. It's extremely time-consuming and not very accurate. But computers are currently being programmed to do that with artificial intelligence to be able to do it instantaneously, much more accurately with humans. So there's a lot more information that can be useful to the patient that we will be able to get out of the same images in the future due to artificial intelligence.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And then how will artificial intelligence change how doctors are practicing the medicine?
Well, it's going to be a profound change for all doctors. Right now, the amount of data that's in the medical system on patients is astronomically large. So large that individual doctors really can't evaluate it all accurately. So a lot of the data that we have, a lot of lab information, imaging information, isn't really efficiently used in patient management because there's just too much of it to use.
Right.
And there are a number of artificial intelligence algorithms right now that can take that huge amount of data, distill it down much more effectively than humans so that all that information can be used in patient management.
Will doctors have to be trained on how to use it, or will it be automatic?
Doctors will have to be trained, but it'll be an ongoing kind of training. It'll never end. As more and more artificial intelligence is developed, it will be gradually implemented into practice. It's like a lot of people, when you initially had cell phones, it was very easy, and then you got smartphones. And right now, if you want to do something on your smartphone, no one is really trained most people how to use an iPhone, but a lot of people are very sophisticated at getting information out of it because they use it on a daily basis.
Exactly.
So a lot of the physician training in AI is going to be and what drives much of what you do on an iPhone is artificial intelligence that's built into the iPhone. That same sort of use of artificial intelligence that most people are used to in a smartphone are going to be throughout medicine, and doctors are going to learn it as they go, most of the time without official training, but with ongoing use and understanding.
And is RadNet currently rolling this out, or is it something that's going to be happening here in the next weeks, months?
New artificial intelligence that people are really interested in right now has not been rolled out yet. We are currently in the planning stages for a number of different ways to do it, and we're testing some of them, but we actually haven't rolled it out into our general practice of medicine yet.
Okay, well, something to look forward to. It sounds very exciting.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your time.
Certainly, Lisa. Thank you.
And if you'd like more information about what we've just discussed, please visit radnet.com.
And our movie today came out earlier this year, actually late last year. It's called Vice, and this movie is about how the governor of Texas, George W. Bush, comes about to picking Dick Cheney, the CEO of Halliburton, to be his Republican running mate in the 2000 presidential election. No stranger to politics, Cheney's impressive resume includes stints as White House Chief of Staff, House Minority Whip, and Defense Secretary. And when Bush wins by a narrow margin, Cheney begins to use his newfound power to help reshape the country and the world. Very good movie. Believe it or not, that is Christian Bale who plays Dick Cheney. What a transformation, just absolutely remarkable. Amy Adams is in this, as is Steve Carell. And as I said, it came out about a year ago. It runs 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's rated R, primarily for language. So that will be our movie today at 2 and at 6 o'clock. Now, our movie coming up on Friday is certainly a classic. Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. This is the original version that came out back in 1971 with, of course, Gene Wilder, and Jack Albertson is in this, and Peter Ostrom. I think we all know the story about a poor boy seeks to get one of the 5 coveted golden tickets that will send him on a tour of Willy Wonka's Mysterious Chocolate Factory. A really good, fun movie. Gene Wilder, just an iconic role for him. And it was so well done. You think back 1971, before really any computer-generated effects or anything like that. So it makes it all the more remarkable. So that'll be on Friday, December 6th at 2 and at 7 o'clock. Hey, I want to remind you that tonight, if you would like to have a really good holiday fun, the Global Harmony Symphony will be over at the Geneva Presbyterian Church for their Handel's Messiah sing-along, play-along. And if you'd like to join them, it is totally free. Just show up again, it's at the Geneva Presbyterian Church, just down the road on El Toro Road. And it starts at 7 o'clock, free admission, free parking. Maybe you get there a little bit early prior to them, but it's just going to be a lot of fun if you'd like to join in. All right, the weather, as I said, today it's going to be fairly nice out. I mean, really nice. We might get a few scattered clouds as we get a little bit later this evening, but it's absolutely beautiful. Look at the snow on the mountains back there, just wonderful. Coming up, though, we're going to get some rain starting to come in maybe late Tuesday night, late meaning after 10 o'clock or so. But really, it's going to be coming in overnight into Wednesday. So this is going to be a heavy system. It's going to be a warmer system than what we just had because it's coming in some tropical season, some tropical weather coming in. So it's not going to produce probably snow anywhere, maybe at the tip top of Big Bear and those areas, but most part it's a warmer system that's coming in, but a lot of rain associated with it. Probably for us, we're going to start to see it really come in early Wednesday morning, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and then all the way through Wednesday, maybe into Thursday morning. We'll see about that. And then another system coming in this weekend that could come in as early as Friday evening. So we'll see. That one could change a bit. Around Orange County today and beyond, all the temperatures compared to just a few days ago are up quite a bit, really, by about 10 to 15 degrees. We're quite cold just over the Thanksgiving weekend. As you can see, Palm Springs only getting up to 69 today. All right, we will see you tomorrow. You have a good day. Take care.